call the meeting to order. Notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the Greenwood Board of Trustees will be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. At the Don Community Center located at 619 Main Street, Greenwood, Nevada. Said meeting is open and public is encouraged to attend. The Board of Trustees will reserve the right to adjourn to the section for 6-84-1410. Open meeting act is posted in the meeting room for the public to view. Roll call, Kelly. Here. Tanya.
Here.
Don here. Mark's absent. Stephanie's absent. Consent agenda minutes, approval, time card, payroll, detail reports, financials, profit loss balance sheet. Any additions or corrections? Or corrections, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda of the minutes, approval, time card, payroll, detail reports, financial, profit loss balance sheets. Here a second.
I'll second.
Roll call, Tanya.
Aye.
Don, aye. Kevin.
Aye.
Water report. Al's working on a new quality on tap. He's going to be sending it out so we're in compliance. So it's on the website, and everybody should be getting one in the mail. So. Anything else on the water?
Just that the tie-in for the blending station is all completed, and that the engineer's been here, and the engineer is working with the HOA Solutions people to do the programming for the well controls. And then I think you have a thing on the agenda today for nitrate tester so that we can test the blending station to make sure it's working. That was a requirement of the state when the state sent their permit to construct the blending station. And then the alarms should stop finally from the water tower. We figured that out, so that was a mechanical issue, not a programming issue, so it should not be an issue from going forward. So if you get an alarm going forward, it's probably a good alarm. It's not a nuisance alarm.
Thanks, Al.
Yep.
The sheriff, as long as they don't have no call, they're supposed to show up tonight, so we'll come back to them if they show up. Maintenance report. Alan's going to start a new program here with kind of like these for reports. That way we can go back in the computer and say, yeah, we did this, or why ain't this getting done? This way we everybody signs off on it and date it. Right now he's got one for the debris mud slash trap out by the city shop, be cleaned annually. What he just was talking about in the water tower, about cleaning this manual tip on the, does pressure for the water. There wasn't no pressure, it was getting air pressure instead of water pressure, and there's too much stuff. So he put in a work order to do this annually, so we got to have that problem no more. Then he's got wastewater treatment plant for cleaning or changing the air filters for the blowers, which is, I'd say change them. Usually when you blow them.
So clean them or check them monthly.
Right.
So they'll get changed every quarter, but at least clean them monthly.
Right. Then he has a water leak down at the sewer plant he wants to fix. And then annually in the park he's got the gazebo, power wash it, and then put whatever the sealer on it. So.
And they'll be doing that Saturday before the agreement day.
Thank you.
So this will be done annually too. So.
Is it just power washing or is it? Or is the pavilion included in that?
I
Yeah.
guess we can, that's up to you guys.
Okay.
What's that?
The pavilion, I asked if it was just the gazebo that's being power washed. The pavilion, like the ceiling part of it, is pretty
You know, so I
gross.
can clean it up,
Yeah, it's
Birds love to get in there and make mess.
yeah. There's a bird nest in there right now. We're hoping that it's gone by then, but it needs.
Okay.
So the software that he's referencing is PM software. So it's instead of trying to do everything in one-off, it'll be an annual, hey, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. The one-off thing is not working. I mean, I looked through the drawer today and found this, and it's due in 3 days. So we need to do something different.
Yeah, proactive rather than reactive.
Correct.
Right.
So hopefully that'll alleviate some of those issues.
But that software you're using, is it something you're using or something we have or what?
I use it for other stuff, and
Okay.
I just added some stuff to incorporate it to make it,
Okay.
city friendly.
Okay.
Thanks, Al. Any questions on the maintenance? Clerk's report, obviously, we haven't hired one. I think we got a couple applications in, but nothing that we really want to pursue. So, speaking of that, do you guys think we ought to go to a headhunt? They guarantee somebody to be here a year. So, but they also want 20% of what they make every year too. But they find you good quality people. So, that's,
If we're
I
not
mean,
getting advertised.
at least we could pursue them and see what it's actually gonna cost us. I mean, without calling them, I didn't wanna do that until we talked about it, so. Actually, Mark brought it up to me and I said, we can get nowhere now. Yeah. We can make a call, at least get a price. Other than that, planning and zoning, I don't know anything about that, do you?
They didn't have their meeting, was it last week?
Yeah. It was last, yeah, you know, or somebody canceled and didn't know if it was on.
Yeah.
Would have been last week, or last Thursday. All right, fire and rescue, there's nothing there. Park and rec?
Yes, we do have some updates. So we discussed, back in May at the May meeting, that we were going to be submitting the documentation that Black Hills was requesting for them to make a donation, to pay for the tractor pulls. However, when we actually had discussed and talked with them further, they actually have previously made the donation. I think that when it was approved and paid for, in the past, Jasmine would just send the invoice back because they always paid it, and I think that had been done. But now we're running into the issue of, we've made requests for our budget to see what's been paid, what's not been paid, because there's been some discussion on how much has been spent, and we can't find it anywhere. So, we have some budget concerns because we have requested claims list, and Janet has been able to give us what she's able to find. But we believe that things are missing, and if that, I mean, that's a donation that we know of, so we know it's missing. We've reached out to community members and sent letters, so if they've sent something and haven't notified us, we don't know that it's missing at this point.
So what are you trying to say?
So we have made a few requests to get the budget items. Janet has helped us as much as she can. I know that Danielle had reached out to you, Donna, to see if we could get a detailed list so that we can see where that Black Hills donation went.
Are you sure it came in?
I mean, according to Black Hills, they have sent it, so.
So we need to check for it as well.
As of right now, $2,623, that ain't counting the slide and the bounce house. Is what I'm seeing. And I don't see no income. You can look at this.
Okay, because we also have, when we have discovered that things have been missing from the agendas, we were thinking, oh, well, we probably need to make sure that items have been paid for, that have been approved, that we thought were being processed. And so that also kind of led to us tracking down getting the claims list that we could get from Janet. However, so we still have things that have been approved for that haven't been paid. We do have a update on the bounce house payment. 2 weeks ago, I gave Jasmine the information that she requested.
Well, 2 weeks ago, you couldn't have gave it to Jasmine because Jasmine ain't working here.
So Janet has told me that Jasmine is cutting the.
If you're gonna keep bringing Jasmine's name up, I won't talk to you no more.
Darn.
Jasmine is not employed here except for after hours.
But we're being told, please, we're being told that Jasmine is the one cutting the checks. and that she will
But
not cut the check.
you wanna know why she didn't cut that check?
That's what she's
I
trying to
know
find out.
this is what I'm,
But you
giving
can't be
an
bringing
update.
I talked to Jasmine 2 weeks ago, I know you did.
I was contacted by Janet. She told me, this is the information Jasmine is requesting of me that I need from you.
That ain't what you said.
Okay, so what I was told was Jasmine had told Janet that she needed to know the address that the check needed to be sent to. I said, okay. I called the company, I gave them the address, I told them the check was being cut, as we spoke, gave them the address, and then I heard today that the check was not cut because there was a question about insurance. So,
No, it's because they don't have an invoice.
okay, I'm telling you what I've been told.
Well, until
So
we get
I
an
was
invoice,
told
we'll not
that
cut the check.
I was told that there was an issue with the insurance, so I looked into it, and my update is that they don't hold the insurance for an event until it's been paid to verify that the event is happening. Which we understand, so that's the update on the insurance. Again, I'm hearing from one person who's told by one person who's told by one person, so I can only go off of what I've been told, whether that's what that person said or not. This is the information we're receiving. So the insurance shouldn't be an issue. If we have it paid, then they get out the insurance and they can provide that for us. And then there was
Okay, what about
an
the invoice?
issue.
We need an
Yes,
invoice.
so then there was an issue that it was a quote that was approved by the board,
Right.
not an invoice, and they can't pay the invoice.
Right.
They operate on a system where they have quotes, and then when the quote is approved, they have a contract. So I provided the contract today. It's not necessarily an invoice that has an invoice number, but that should be everything you need to
Okay, that'll be on
go
the next
forward.
meeting then.
Yes, so but we wanted to request and see, because this has been approved and we tried to cut the checks 2 weeks ago and we gave the information, do we have to wait
You gotta wait.
until the next
It's
process?
gotta be the
even
Friday
though-
before the meeting.
So it needs to be on the next meeting's
Correct.
claim list to be
Correct.
approved again.
Correct.
Okay.
So, do you care if I speak real quick? Do you care if I speak real quick?
No, go ahead.
I think the hang up here and how we can kind of try and avoid these delays going forward is when they provided the quote to the board and got that approved, none of us knew that a quote couldn't result in a cut check, that it had to be an invoice. So
Because according to
at
the
that
state of
point in
Nebraska,
time-
we cannot pay nothing without an invoice.
And Dawn, that's great, but this is a very new board and they don't know those things.
That's
So
fine. But
when the quote is presented to you guys, if you could have told us at that point in time, like, yes, this is approved, this is the amount you can spend. By the way, you will need to submit an actual invoice before we can cut that check. That would have been super beneficial and would have cut down on all of the billing. So all we're asking for is a little bit of guidance from you guys so that we don't have this hang up and back and
my
forth.
biggest thing is you keep bringing Jasmine's name up, and she's not here no more, okay?
I have not. brought
I'm not,
anything like
you
that.
as a
Right.
park and rec board, so.
So my question is, since we approved the quote, we obviously gave it a certain dollar amount then? If that invoice is that or under, can the invoice just be paid or does it have to?
It still has to be on the
It's gonna be on the claims list.
claims
yeah.
list, yeah. Because otherwise, you can just sign a check whenever you want, so.
Well, 'cause of the-
According to the state of Nebraska audit, it's gotta be on the claims list, and they go, because they don't look every month, but they'll pick out certain pay periods. They wanna know if it was on the claims list and when we actually, because I ain't gonna date something ahead.
Oh,
We wouldn't pass it.
no, we just want a little bit of guidance so
I
we
mean,
can get things done. the
they
right
oughta
way
know that you-
Without delays.
You know, villages and cities, you gotta have an invoice. So,
They did not know that at that point.
We also have 2 items that were missed from our last agenda that didn't make it to this meeting, so we're just flagging that I let Janet know, so that we can ensure that they're on the next meeting. I just wanted to keep you guys updated on that, since we've had issues with realizing that things have been missed in the past. We were told that we should be documenting our meeting minutes and doing something different for the voting for roll call voting. And I just wanted to know what specific thing needs to be added. I've been just following the way that the board minutes have been structured. So I wanted to know specifically what needs to be added that we're missing on that.
Well, I said last meeting what it was supposed to be done, but
I think it was specifically the voting.
The voting, you're saying yay and nay,
Yes.
So you have to say.
but you need to have three yays and one nay, or you have to have each person's name, they
Yes,
voted.
yes, but I'm just asking, like, specifically, I tried to find on the board minutes where I could structure that off of, and it's not there. So I just wanna know specifically what you want each name for every single roll call, what they vote regardless of,
Cause you
No,
wrote,
you could do.
ever who does it
Person
says,
made the
this guy
motion.
made the motion, this guy seconded,
Yes, yep.
then you say
Whatever
all.
the
Yes.
score
It
is,
passes.
3 to 5 or
Yes.
whatever.
You don't, but you don't say who voted what.
okay, well, so then we don't need to make any changes to what we've been doing, because we put motion,
That's, I'm
second.
just looking through this, and they've got it cleared up from the last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's been cleared
I
up.
just wanted to be clear on what
Yes.
we needed to add, if what we were missing.
It's an improvement, big
Okay.
improvement, thank you.
And then we did, actually hear back from the attorney on the day of the last meeting. We actually had, got back from her. So we're able to move forward, with
No,
our
no.
questions.
I read that, what you guys wrote, you guys have interpreted this way wrong, okay? I'm gonna have the attorney show up next meeting, so there ain't gonna be no middleman here.
Okay, so she did give us our answers. Did you?
Yeah, I've
you
got
saw the answers from the
I got them
attorney?
same time you did.
Okay, so
So-
what are, I guess, what are we interpreting wrong of her answers?
Well, we'll worry about that next meeting, we'll take it next meeting. That
Okay,
way.
so next meeting,
Because I'm not 100% sure on a lot of this, but you're saying that everything's good to go, but seeing Shelby's back on, the way I read it, is she can't profit.
that is not what is stated in that at all.
That's
But
why
I think
we're,
that's great that we're gonna have the attorney here, she can clarify
Yeah.
her answers again.
so I read it differently.
Okay, so we can wait for the
You got
attorney to
both sections?
reconfirm. We got the original and then our answer, the questions that we had asked. And in the May 28th meeting, we had discussed that you were concerned about the length of the document. We have shortened it, but it looks like the original was sent to her, which is fine.
I didn't send it.
We repaired it, took out the ball field questions, with the concern of the length of the document. But she did answer those questions, so we had asked that the board move forward with engaging her in the things that we had, for the ball field specifically, but we won't need to do that. At this time, we're gonna look through, what her response was on the field compared to what we had already kind of put in place. And then, let you know, we'll have to re-engage with the attorney for her to approve any kind of field agreement. She said that would ultimately have to be approved by the board, but it would be best for her to look at it, for final approval. So once we kind of compare what, her answers were to what we have drafted already, we can let you know when we need to engage in that again. But we have, been moving forward with our events.
So, look under Greenwood Fund Days. On your screen. It says after the C2-502, it says members shall serve without compensation.
Yes, yeah, we are volunteering.
Okay.
Correct, I'm not compensating
I know,
from.
but they don't say because you're back on it.
I think that maybe if we
I'm just
we go
saying-
through the whole document.
I'm just
it
telling you
is-
where I disagree with what you guys are saying, that's why.
Yeah, I think
So I'm
that if you
interpreting
read the
it
whole,
different.
yeah, I think if you read the whole document, it gives you more specific information on members
I've
who
read
are
the whole
doing, okay. So I think that there's just some maybe a miscommunication.
I think we'll just leave it as is.
No, we'll table
And move
till the next
forward
meeting.
with the-
Yeah.
Yeah, with the attorney.
Well, here's the thing, you guys, is I've already opened registration now for this craft show. Why, if this was an issue, if we had this before I got back on the board, mind you, to
This
help
is
this.
this was the
community.
day after we got you on. Yeah,
We received it that.
we received it the next day after the last meeting,
What's the date on that?
11.
June 11th, that's the date of the meeting.
But we didn't receive it until the day after.
Yes, and you had previously approved her to already join the board.
Right,
But I think that as the attorney coming to verify
Right.
her answer,
Yeah.
will clear up any confusion or misunderstandings that there may be in the answer to that.
so that's why I said, I'd like to have the attorney here, so.
Totally agree, I think that's a great idea. But here's the thing, is like, I've already started registering these vendors. If I need to like, how are we gonna fix this? Because I can't pull back on this now.
No, I understand, I'm just, because you guys say everything's good
I
now.
think we should wait and just see what they
Okay.
do.
I
would
feel
say-
like I'm being painted as this person is trying to profit off of Village of Greenwood, and that is so not the case. I am trying to bring you back to craft fair because it was not going well in prior years. And you guys, this event doesn't profit. By the time I pay for everything that I need to pay for, it doesn't profit. And then I'm going to donate to Parks and Rec. So I don't understand why you're being led to believe that I am trying to
I didn't say
have
that.
some sort of vindictive thing here, but that's not the case.
Not-
I want to join Parks
You
and Rec
guys,
and
you
be a
guys
part of that
wanted to go to the
community
attorney with it,
to
so.
help this village, because this village deserves an event that they can be proud of and enjoy. Every age,
Let's wait for
regardless
the
of what
attorney.
it is.
Don, will the Park and Rec be responsible for the cost of this attorney meeting? I'm pretty sure they have it.
I'm asking for the attorney to be here, so.
As general counsel, yes, so, yeah.
I mean, I just want to clear it up because I read it differently.
And I read it differently.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean,
So, I
both,
think-
both ways, and
Well, the worst case is we're gonna make you pay, say, $200 to do the event.
I was donating more than that anyway.
Huh?
I was donating more than that.
I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. So we're
And are
gonna,
we requiring the bar to do the same?
Because we have a current fee already for.
Well,
$25 per
why,
peddler.
why does, so let me ask this, what's the
I
difference
just used
between,
the 200 for
what's the difference between limitless events coming in and holding a craft fair and collecting vendor fees, or the bar coming in and holding a beer garden and selling alcohol? What is the difference
where they're gonna have the beer garden. I
in
haven't,
the park?
I haven't approved that yet. Have you?
No, it hasn't been brought to the board.
Right on.
No,
agenda.
it hasn't, it's, well, it's supposed to be, why wasn't it?
I haven't seen on the agenda or anything, I haven't seen anything.
It's not.
We haven't seen nothing, so how,
Probably enough comments on this. But there's been beer gardens in that park before.
yeah.
So whether that's a new thing this year or a past precedent, have we required the beer garden to pay a fee when they hold it in our park?
They've donated back to Park and Rec.
Okay, and that's what I intend to do, Don.
I'm not saying that you're not.
Well then, why, I don't understand why this is being blown up now that I wanna host a craft fair. when we
Blown it
have
up.
Really? We've been going on this for months, Don.
Fine. Everything you guys want, I'm gonna vote no.
Don,
No.
Really? You
No.
are a
Okay.
village official, and that's really how you're gonna handle this?
Yeah. Because you guys wanted the attorney, now you can't accept for what she wrote.
No, Don, you are accepting
You are
exactly what
interpreting it in a different way.
Okay, that's
We don't
what-
have an issue with what
So
the
we
attorney
will
wrote
wait.
because we agree with what she stated. You just disagree with what she stated with how we see it,
Okay.
which
We'll
is
wait
fine.
2 weeks.
We'll wait for
I
the
asked to
attorney
wait
come.
and you guys keep bringing it up.
Because we're asking you why, when it's just for a specific event, when there's other events that are taking place that fall under the same umbrella, but we're not discussing those events. It seems to be that there is one event that we're having an issue with, which is what we're asking you about. And yes, it is, because we're
We just
not asking
targeted
for the same thing for the beer garden and all of the other events that are operating the same way. We're not having any issues with that. We as a board have had no questions, no issues with how we've been operating and planning these things.
All right.
We're only bringing these forward
I
because
just think-
it's been questioned by specific members on the board. So we're asking for the clarification so that we can keep going forward. We will wait for the attorney to come
I asked,
and clarify the same
Okay.
answer that she's provided over and over again.
Okay.
That's fine.
as Don, as vice chair, I respectfully ask that you please not vote no on everything. We are trying to partner with you. We look forward to meeting with the attorney in a couple of weeks so that we can
that'd be great.
clarify.
That's what I asked for.
Great, I understand.
We have voting items for events that we have on the agenda today. And there is a supporting document that you received in your board packet that has a picture of the map to further clarify, because the writing of this street to this street and this street to this street can be hard to visualize. So that has also information about the events and specific questions that we had about prior events that were on the agenda. So if you have any further questions, I'm happy to answer those as we go through them.
What point do we get to?
I have a question about the ball field. So it was brought up in the last trustee meeting that, Park and Rec would be expected and asked to help unlock the concession stand and such when it's after hours. Now that there is a code lock, is it an option to provide that to the coaches, or is that a liability?
I think you guys are responsible for it. I don't think we give it to coaches. What happens when something gets stolen? Then we gotta buy them.
I understand. We're just trying to balance the fact that this is a
I mean,
volunteer board.
I'm just one vote, so.
Well, we're not asking for a vote on this, I just wanted to cover protect this.
I mean, most towns don't let all the coaches have the coach to the, where the bases and stuff are, your concession stand. I mean,
We are just trying to create the
no,
middle.
that's fine. Anything else on Park and Rec? No?
Not,
Library?
We received an email, Stephanie and I, from the library, asking about some of their expenses. I brought that to Janet today for a few things. We also looked because they were very concerned about their telephone expense being 1.5 times what it was the last month.
That's because Windstream, because we just put in a new service.
Well, so Janet and I went through the invoices today. There was 2 invoices from Windstream that totaled $100 and some. And there was a double payment to Seagra, but she did find a credit on that also. So we believe that that's what the issue is there. She's also asked for the internet information beginning July 1, because she has to have it turned in February in order to get the grant for that again. Their other concern was the printing expense, which Stephanie and I were hoping that someone on the board could help us with that.
$19.
So they're saying they didn't use the printer last month, so is it
That's,
just
that's
a
year to
normal,
date. That's from October.
the $19.63?
That's from this is fiscal year. You get October 1, 24 to June 22nd.
Okay, I don't have this on here, I just have what
Here.
she sent me.
I think that's, let's see. Yeah, what's that there too? So that's for almost October 1 to there,
Yeah, where's that?
$19.
So I'll show her that.
It's year to date now.
Year to date, yeah, okay.
So I'll talk to her about that then. But otherwise, I think that's it on their end.
Okay, anything else?
I don't know what it'll be posted over
Okay.
there. Oh, and I know the summer reading program and all the activities, she's getting a lot of donations for that. She wants to say thank you to everyone, and it seems to be going great.
Good. Anything, Kevin? Communications to citizens. Anybody? Okay, old business, approve or disapprove park naturalist. If I remember right, you said last meeting that was free.
It's a free event for the community.
It's a free event for the community and free of cost to the park acquisition.
I'll make a motion to approve the park naturalist.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Kevin. Aye. Sonia.
Aye.
Donna. Approve or disapprove petting zoo.
This is also a free event for the community. And no cost to Park and Rec.
No,
No
the
cost?
is donated by the 4-H group that has available.
I'll make a motion to approve the petting zoo by Cass County Cats 4-H group for the Park and Rec Day.
I'll say.
Roll call, Tanya.
Aye.
Don, aye. Kevin.
Aye.
Approve or disapprove safety concern park maintenance. The harness has already been bought from the people that put up the, because I paid the invoice last meeting.
Oh, I must have missed.
Is that the one that's damaged?
Last meeting.
Huh?
Is that the one that's damaged?
Okay,
Is that the one that's damaged?
yeah,
No, the
Yeah, we
clutch
have it.
box.
We're just gonna put it in.
right,
Yeah, it got here.
Cool. Okay.
so, yeah, because it came from Crouch. Eric Crouch is the one that sponsored his company who did that. And that's how we got the bill from, that's why I knew it.
Okay.
What else was there, something about a map?
Well, the soft clay structure, like the rubber cement stuff that's in for, there's holes underneath on certain spots on there.
Underneath the rubber,
Yes, yep, it's
Like-
sinking.
like sand,
I would go for the whole.
Like they're, like whatever structure is under there supporting it is gone, so when you step on it, it sinks it.
okay. So
Um,
like water washes away or
Possibly.
something?
Yes, Jim said that he did,
Yeah,
She's gonna answer. She's gonna answer. Jim and I had a conversation.
oh, okay.
yes, Jim gave us an update before the meeting and said that he had the playground seller coming out to look at the soft spots. So
Okay.
most of them are like kind of random, but the biggest one is the one right going up for the ramp, then it seems that it's a tripping hazard that we're concerned about.
There's also a hole where perhaps a tree was, at some point where there's a large crater. Grass is actually growing.
Yes, yep, and I included as best as I could location of it based on the other landmarks in the park, but there's questions I can show where it's devastated or something.
If the amount's under $500, I'll sign off it right away as soon as we get a quote from it.
Yeah, I don't,
Otherwise, we'll have to have it on Jen.
yeah, I
I
don't,
don't think we're not ready for that yet. Jill just knows.
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll see what they say.
Anything else on the safety concern?
Those are the immediate safety concerns.
Okay. New business, approve or disapprove claims list A. I'll make a motion to approve claims list A. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, Don, aye. Kevin? Aye. Tanya?
Aye.
Approve or disapprove nitrate testing kit. Seems we're going to test once a day for a while anyway. Al suggested that we get a nitrate testing kit, so,
It was also, it's a requirement by the state's license.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a requirement.
because of the blending station.
Yeah, the permit they gave you to construct the blending station requires that you have a tester on site to test every day.
Gotcha. So they range anywhere from about $200 some to $6,000 or $7,000. Depends on what you want them to do. So this one's $524.99 without shipping. And this is the kit that comes with some little bottles that you can see what's on about the third page.
How many consumables do we need to order with this too, or do we?
You do. I'm actually not sure. I think it says, I need to look at the permit that they issued. I think it says daily, up to 90 days, I think.
Okay.
And to be honest, I would get 6 months worth.
Okay.
Because I assume there's a pillow requirement in that
The what?
tester. A pillow requirement in that tester.
Yeah.
Does it say, you have to buy pillows or reagents with it? Is that one? have a
22
reagent?
millimeter glass culverts.
Also must use
It's optical, this one's optical.
It's optical, not chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it requires, I would have enough supplies for, 6 months.
I make a motion to approve the nitrate testing kit, not to exceed $750.
I'll second.
Roll call, Kevin. Donnie?
Aye.
Don, aye. Approve, disapprove 2 loads of rock. We have been getting it from Buell Trucking in the past, so That would be 2 trucking festival, that's what Jimmy says we're completely out, so they're gonna need some over there where they dug up between the shed and the well house, so.
That 2 loads just gonna fill that in, or is that gonna give a surplus too?
That's surplus
A
too.
little bit. There's 2 loads on there now,
Okay.
so it
Okay.
ate up pretty good, so.
I'll make a motion to approve 2 loads of rock, not to exceed, well, what's the current pricing right now?
About $11.50 a load. So 25.
Not to exceed 2,500.
I'll second
Roll call, Tanya,
that. Aye.
Kevin,
Aye.
Donna. Approve, disapprove washer term. Who's going to head that up?
Custom Gun Solutions.
Who?
Custom Gun Solutions.
I'll make a motion to approve the washer term. For a second.
Aye, or I'll second.
Roll call, Donna, Kevin,
Aye.
Tanya.
Abstain.
Approve, disapprove street closure for Greenwood Plant. That's the red area, right?
Yes, those are the same,
Where we normally do it, right?
Can I ask a question? Is this, since you guys are abstaining, did you make quorum on that vote?
No, we did not. That'll be tabled until the next meeting, so, yeah.
It'll pass.
Or, yeah.
I just wanted to.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't have any objection to the street closures.
They are the exact same ones we have last year.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the street closures as indicated on the map.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Tanya. Donna, Kevin.
Aye.
Approve, disapprove Brian Van Lendingham as organizer of the car show as he is advertising, providing trophies and volunteers by aiding. Awful nice, isn't it? Where's he holding that? On the
Main
street?
Street.
On Main Street.
We will be collecting a registration. So again, that.
That's gonna fall under the same thing.
We can still approve it. But we'll just have to make a fee. That's the only thing I was suggesting for her, either donate up to this much or,
I think we might want to clarify the donation piece. I don't remember the verbiage that we want to use, but I think that that puts us into some sort of.
we can't ask for a percent in any.
no, oh, she recommended not the percentage,
Yeah, we
because
can't
it
ask
never
for-
works out good that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know the
I
term,
think,
but.
I think if we were to, don't put me on this, the way I think I remember it is if we were to request and pay her to put on the fair, then that would make us liable.
Yes.
But if she chooses to do it on her own, all we have to do is okay it, we can pay, we can charge a fee, right now we have a $20 fee for presentation and solicitation. And then she would also have to provide the business insurance, because then it
Right.
would put that public area onto
Right.
that business.
Yeah, peddler and hawkers permits are 25 per person.
So Brian's going to do that insurance as well. If there's a fee that we're going to impose on these third-party businesses, and we're going to require them to get insurance, I just want them to know that up front, so that,
I
I mean,
agree.
that might mean he's not interested.
Right.
So maybe we should table this until we speak with the attorney. Until the next meeting.
That's fine.
That way it's clarified for everyone.
We're not gonna deny it, it's just a matter of how we approach it.
Yeah, what would be
Right.
requirements?
Right.
So I'll make a motion to table Brian Van Eylingham as the organizer for the car show until the next meeting. And we can clarify and have the requirements.
I'll second.
All Don, Kevin?
Aye.
Connie?
Aye.
Approve, disapprove, chai, style, kitchen, food trucks, it's the same thing. You're charging food trucks?
Yes,
Really?
yes, yep. That is because in the past, way in the past, we charged a percentage and asked them to go with the percentage. But that was messy, and then we come to find out the attorney says we can't do it that way because that makes us a joint venture and liable for whatever they do. So, we have to avoid doing percentage, so she said it's better to just charge them a fee, and right now I think we're charging them $25. So we approved them, they fill out a form, they supply us their insurance and their food handling permit.
Yep.
We, as a board of Parks and Rec, approve them, the board approves them, we let them know that it's been approved, now they have to pay us our $25, and then they're good to go.
I think that's all covered under that. Beautiful job.
Yeah, so, and what we were planning on doing is once we had all of our food trucks lined up and approved, in the past, we had just kind of waived, the board had approved of waiving the peddler's fee and just having them pay the fee to Parks and Rec for the day for us as a profit. So we are planning on proceeding that way again this year.
So I would think, since they're coming in for Park and Rec Day, I know that it's on our fee schedule, that fee would go to Park and Rec, wouldn't it?
Do what?
Wouldn't that fee be put into the Park and Rec fund since it is for,
Correct.
yeah?
So, but we were just saying waive the peddler's fee, charge the same amount, but just have it as the food truck fee. But if if it equals the same thing, then we don't have to.
Anything for that day should go to.
Right, my understanding though, we have to vote on that like we did a couple years ago, because the way it's worded in our code, the fee goes to the village, but it doesn't say where it's appropriated to.
But we can approve.
That's why I said,
Okay, so
we have to state that for the event.
Okay.
On the
So
record.
we can wait until we have numerous more that we're getting information from still, so we can wait until we have all of them laid out, so we can just make one
Yeah.
motion to approve it and where it needs to go.
Whatever you want, if you want it, we can vote on tonight, it's fine.
Well, I think you guys approved this truck, right?
We've
They paid and
approved this
everything
truck,
like
we
that.
have their insurance and their food handlers in it.
We
We
might
just
as
need
well
their
vote.
So then, yeah. So I'll make a motion to approve the China style kitchen food truck for Greenwood Day.
I'll second that. Roll call, Kevin?
Aye.
Connie?
Aye.
Donna? Approve, disapprove Carol Charade for the library board.
They voted her in at the last meeting, according to the meeting minutes. Yep, that's right.
Okay,
Approved,
okay.
motion was passed.
Make a motion to approve Carol Shade for library board as presented in the minutes.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Don, aye, Kevin?
Aye.
Connie? What comments or questions, Kevin?
Thing is, I appreciate everything Department of Rec is doing right now, so thank you guys. Thank you to Alan and the other guys out there too, and that's all I got right now.
Don?
I'll second Kevin's, thank you everyone, all volunteers, planning commission, our camera crew, Alan for taking care of us when we need it. The library's been doing a great job also, the kids are loving it. I think it's been a big turnaround from last year. That's very awesome. Yes, that's awesome. That's all I have.
I'd like to thank everybody too, Alan, library, Park and Rec. You guys are doing a great job. Sorry for the hassle.
Okay.
I I just interpret it a little different, I'm sorry. So, but we'll get that figured out next week, or 2 weeks. So, we can adjourn at 7:45.